The Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric, final hour on a Monday. We're going to talk Astros, Rangers. I got a text message sweep coming up. By the way, that means if you got something you need to spit out, you need some Lou therapy, Louie Bellina Show therapy, you want to celebrate Aggie baseball doubleheader sweep, you're pumped about the national championship game tonight, you're tired of Astros and injuries, because we're going to talk about it shortly. Oh, it was too much to be a happy Astros fan. If you were with me Friday, you could feel the joy, and that's just not how I feel today. But health. The one thing where they say if you have your health, you have everything. The Astros do not have their health. Hunter Brown went on the IL because of course he did. The Astros don't have like their number 6 reliever go on the IL. They have Josh Hader. You don't have your number 4 guy in your rotation go on your IL. You have one of the 5 best pitchers in Major League Baseball, Hunter Brown, go on the IL. Astros baseball catch the fever. But you can text about anything, 979-693-1150. But 1:35-ish, we have our Aggie football listening. Today's been very maroon and white. 11:35, Aggie baseball listening. 12:35, Aggie softball listening. 1:35 will be our Aggie football listening. 2 text messages I want to go to now. One is from Noah, who said, how was your Easter, Louie Bellina? Did you watch the Final Four and the Crown basketball in Las Vegas? And are you looking forward to the Masters coming up? I have no idea what Crown basketball is in Las Vegas. Did I watch the Final Four? Most. Good chunks. Yes. Am I looking forward to the Masters? Of course. Why would I not, Noah? I love the majors in golf. I used to watch more then, but not a fan of the current tour structure. So thank you for the text, Noah. And the next text message has been sitting here for a while. It's actually been agitating the hell out of me because it's all about timing. Stephen, College Station, goes, how safe is Coach Early's job if they don't make the tournament? Isn't that a text message from 2 weeks ago? Like, don't you text that after they lost the first 2 series? But now Aggie baseball has went 5-1 in SEC play. They've won the last 2 series. Why do you text that now? I mean, this is America. You have the freedom to text what you want to text, but why now? Like, I'm just dying to know. I'd like to get the insight into the fan brain that's your question now. Of all the things on the table, you can ask about Sadeo. Should Aiden Sims move? What will be their record in the last 6 series? Will they host? What are they, 19 in the RP? I mean, I'm not ready to buy into them. There's a million things, but how safe is Coach Early's job if they don't? How is that the question of the moment? Is that what haunts you? That's what you were inspired to text me. It's all about timing. You want to say that after they lost to OU Georgia? I mean, I think that was a common sentiment. But that's your question of the moment. Really? That's what's got you fired up on a Monday, huh? Okay. Never crossed my mind. Has not been on my table. I'll go back to the statement I think I made before the season started. If this A&M baseball team misses the NCAA tournament, I don't think Mike Early would have been brought back. I don't think they're missing the NCAA tournament. A team that has a 19 RBI currently and a winning record in the SEC, and you're pondering missing the NCAA tournament, right? I don't understand. I'm serious. I don't get it. I have no comprehension of that question. But that's what you texted and asked. Okay. 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. I do say you could text anything. That's Steve from College Station's burning in his head. Gotta know. That's his thing. Jim, sweep TU equals extension. Build a statue. We'll be talking about that. The return of Schloss, who has Texas in year 2, number 2, won the SEC in year 1, right? Hate him all you want, and there's a lot of Aggies that say, I want to a lot, so that's fine. When you have to meet at a cemetery, you know you're doing something wrong. It's not a debatable conversation. So don't act, don't pretend, don't try and cover up. That kind of thing, right? But he is a great baseball coach. No matter what you might have think of how he deals with things, handles things, talk to reporters, or other things you may have heard on internet, but he is a great baseball coach. He is a winning baseball coach. He has more postseason Omaha wins in A&M history than all the other coaches combined or something like that. He does know how to win. That should be a raucous. Ooh, I like that word. It should be a raucous series this weekend, yeah? At Bluebell Olson. But anyway, you could text 979-693-1150. 979-693-1150. And you can light up the Texas Mobile One Lube Express inbox. I want to stay diamond. Astros, Rangers. I warned Bryce, do not count your W's before they hatch if we're talking about the Astros and the A's. I don't know why Houston's always struggled. I don't have I could have counted up or looked up the history books, but I feel like the Astros, this incarnation, dynasty and now version of the Astros struggle with the A's. They're winning World Series, but can't beat the A's. A's have been tanking because they have an owner who wants to make money and doesn't want to pay for anything, but they can't beat the A's. And sure enough, they lost 2 out of 3 over the weekend. They lose the Friday game, take the Saturday. Rubber game is Sunday. And they're in the 10th. They got the lead. They bring in the closer for now, Abreu, and he gives up a 3-run shot. I guess it was in the bottom of the 10th. 12-10. Yeah. Looked like a Sunday college baseball game. 12-10. Astros lose to the A's. Still in first place in the West and 6-4. Yeah, you could tell it's early. Still the second best record in the American League. But for a team that finished tied and missed the postseason, tied for the division lead but missed the postseason last year, every win matters. Yes, even in the first or second week. The fact that you're in first place in the West and the 2 series you've lost to lose of the year, the Angels and the A's, probably could come back to haunt you. Astros don't have a lot of wiggle room, I feel like. They can win the West. I do believe that, but I don't think there's a lot of wiggle room. I'll just stick with that. And Sunday, starter Lance McCullers. He goes 4 innings, and he is looking brilliant. And then in the 5th, he allows the first 3 runners on, and they have to pull them 3 on, nobody out. And the bullpen was brutally bad Sunday. Blueball, who has been fantastic, mentioned he's one of the top 5 pitchers in increased velo. Not his day at all. Abreu's been a disaster in relief. Christian Roa gets in. Not clean, but yeah. And then when Hunter Brown got sent on the IL, they recalled Roa. He's not going to start in a spot, and we'll talk about what the plans are in the short term anyway. So yeah, Abreu's, but his ERA is 23.63, which only 10 games in, and you're the closer, so an inning at a time. But he's been awful in the role. And Espada, no one's really explained why. The win Saturday, Jaime got his first win, 5 2/3, 3 hits, struck out 9, was fantastic. Bullpen stayed clean with a big lead. It was 11-0 Stros in that one. Yordan Alvarez got on base 5 times. He only had 1 hit, went 1 for 1, but he walked 4 times. Yordan Alvarez, he went yard Sunday in the 12-10, 10-inning loss. 4th homer of the year. Friday, nothing burger, 11-4. Now, if you want the of note, if you're an Astros fan like me, back-to-back brutally bad starts for Christian Javier. 3 2/3, 6, walk 5. You know, it's the same thing. Too early, but Javier's potential is a 2, can throw you some starts like he's a 1. So I'm just going to chill, but that's 2 really brutal starts to the year. Astros had been on a 5-game winning streak before dropping the game Friday, and then they dropped the series with the loss Sunday. Hunter Brown to the 15-day IL. Shoulder strain. Again, he's one of the best 5-6 pitchers in all of baseball. It's retroactive to Thursday. And again, they recalled Christian Roa from AAA Sugarland because he started the year on the roster. They sent Roa down, and he got recalled, got into the game on Sunday. What's next for the Astros? Well, tonight, they're going to put Bolton in Brown start. He's going to start in Colorado. Astros in Colorado, and that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Travel day Thursday, and they'll wrap up. This has been a West Coast road trip, right? Sacramento, the A's were the weekend. Colorado, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Travel day Thursday, and then Seattle. Let's get a little payback, boys. Let's go. We'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday before they return home. So in the Hunter Brown spot in the rotation, Bolton goes tonight, and then Spencer Arrighetti. And what this tells me is Spencer Arrighetti, I'm not sure, they sent him down to the minors to start the year, but he probably started somewhere in the past 3 days, so he couldn't take the start tonight. He won't start in the minors, and then he's going to start Saturday in Seattle on long rest. They couldn't have him start tonight because somewhere in the past 3, even 4, so it didn't fit him situationally. And I remember Arrighetti a year ago, the hype behind him, he was the next Hunter Brown, and then got hurt right away. So I'm excited to see where is he at? Where is he at? So Astros baseball, by the way, tonight, 7:10 pregame, 7:40 first pitch. You can hear it on Willie 1550 AM. Astros baseball tonight. Oh, and tomorrow night. Tonight. Astros baseball tonight on Willie 1550 AM. And it's all thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. If you don't know, or maybe you forgot, but here's a heads up. Astros baseball, it's on the Zone 1150 AM, 93.7 FM, but we put select games on Willie 1550 AM. Why? Because like tonight on the Zone, we've got the national championship game, UConn, Michigan, thanks to Westwood One Sports. We've got Aggie Baseball on the Zone, but we want to give you a chance to catch all the Astros you can. So you will primarily hear Astros baseball here on the Zone and select games on Willie 1550 AM. And that's all thanks to Kelly Burt Dozer. And you might think to yourself, I can't keep up. How do I know? Well, there's the Zone newsletter that we email Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., and we direct traffic. We tell you where all the games of Brian Broadcasting, whether it's the Zone, WTAW, Willie, Aggie Football, Baseball, Basketball, Astros, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. We tell you what's going on. So the Zone newsletter. And you can get the Zone newsletter, subscribe. Short, easy events, contests, signups, everything we have. You'll be in the know. It probably takes you 2 minutes to check out the Zone newsletter every morning. Zone Twitter. We tell you daily. Zone Facebook. On Facebook, we're Facebook Zone 1150. Twitter, we're at Zone 1150. So if you ever want to keep up, we direct traffic for you. Taking a look, continuing, world of sports, Astros, Rangers. Rangers got swept by the Reds. Home opener Friday. So first series at home, they got swept by the Reds. And it was a very odd series because they showed off their strength, which was their pitching. They only gave up 9 runs in 3 games. They gave up 2 runs on Saturday, 2 runs on Sunday, yet did not win a game. I think long term, if your team staff ERA is 3.00 over 162 games, you're going to win a lot of baseball games. But the offense for the Rangers has been so struggle bus to start the year that it's kind of insane, actually. Leiter was brilliant Sunday. That's back-to-back starts to start the year. He went 5-1. I mean, the Pen went 4-1, but they gave up 2 runs Saturday, lost, 2 runs Sunday, lost. And you know how they did that? Because they scored 4 runs total in 3 games. They scored 1 run combined Saturday, Sunday, as their pitching staff only gave up 4 runs. But they scored 1 themselves. And the Rangers got swept by the Reds. I had to look it up for myself because, I'm down. I like being entertained. Wyatt Langford's batting $150. Jock Peterson's batting .059. And Josh Young is batting .138. That's 130 your lineup. And 150, 139, and .059. Again, that's probably not going to work. So as the Astros lost 2 out of 3 to the A's and Hunter Brown goes on the IL, if you're an Astros fan, you got to take solace, celebrate, enjoy the fact that the Rangers lost at home 2 out of 3 to the Reds. And you know what? Seattle lost 2 out of 3 to the Angels. So, and it's early in the year, but I'm not an early in the year guy. I think every game counts. So there was something to warm your heart if you were an Astros fans. And what was that? Other people's misery. I tend to not celebrate that way, but when Hunter Brown went on the IL, I was desperate, and I found a bucket of misery to celebrate with. When we come back, I don't know, text message sweep or more. It's the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. It's the Louie Bellina Show. I'm inside the Charles Schwab studio. Low cost, full service, best of all local. How local? Mark Sim right here in College Station. Find them online at schwab.com/College Station. Charles Schwab and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC.
The Louie Bellina Show from inside the Charles Schwab studio. Woo! Fun is allowed and sports are fun. Weekdays 11 to 2 on The Zone.
National championship game tonight. Who do you have? Aggie baseball, we have four games, 40% of the SEC schedule. We have, halfway through, a little over actually, of the whole season. Where are you in? Are you out? Omaha, super regional, hosting, not hosting. I think now we can make some kind of educated, for me, only so educated, sure. But where are you at with Aggie baseball? It's weird. We're slowly moving towards summer. Things are about to slow down. It's okay. On the Louie Bellina Show, we're allowed to have fun. So you can text everything, anything, and, you can light up the Texas Mobile and Lube Express inbox. You know what? Texas Mobile and Lube Express, they say be good to your car, and your car will be good to you. Do you know how you be good to your car? You take it to Texas Mobile and Lube Express. 979-693-1150. Text now. Some of the things left in my head that I need to spit out. World of sports. Aggie Softball. Remember I talked about RPI in baseball, and they're like at 19, and with the games they have left, they control their hosting destiny. I ponder with Aggie Softball. They're at 20. And in their remaining schedule, they have 4 series left. 2 of them, RPI teams, 14 Mississippi State, 8 Oklahoma. The other 2, not RPI teams, in Ole Miss and South Carolina. Not RPIs that hurt you, to be clear. Ole Miss is 18, so it's in front of you, but it's the same as you. But the other 2, 14 Mississippi State, 8 OU, help you. The other one is holding serve. Is there enough RPI to move you into the 16 alone? It's only, it's 5 spots, 19, 18, 17, 16, 4 spots. Hello, they're at 20 to host. Now, the one thing for me, and I've said this before, watching NCAA softball, A&M softball forever. The SEC is only going to get so many host schools. A&M's already beat Georgia, but Georgia's at 11. It won't matter that you beat them. They're not going to go, we've got to move A&M from 16, 17 and guarantee they host because they beat 11. That gap. So they beat LSU, who's at 16. Head-to-head. Already beat the series in Baton Rouge. So that is something of note. But as far as how many hosts the SEC will be allowed to have, what if I told you 6 of the top 7 RPI schools are SEC? Bama 1, Texas 2, Arkansas 3, Florida 4, Tennessee 6, OU is 8. 6 of the top 8. So that's 6 hosting. Georgia's 11, 7. And then from there, we don't want to say locks kind of thing, but that's 7. Mississippi State's 14, LSU is 16, Ole Miss 18, A&M is 20. A&M will play Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and has already beat LSU. So you start to see the importance of beating other bubble hosting teams, which is Ole Miss this weekend in Oxford. Mississippi State is the next weekend. And then South Carolina is not a factor. And you finish with OU, who's OU. OU is one of the top 3 teams in all of college softball. And I know, just win, and it should play out. And if you beat Ole Miss, that's 18. You can move to their spot. Mississippi State's 14. South Carolina should not hurt you. It won't help you. OU is 8. And if you take 2 out of 3 from OU, that's all you need to know. But that will be a daunting task. Not saying they couldn't. You didn't hear me. I just said that's a daunting task. I mean, if you win out, they're going to host. But the road to hosting from the 20 spot with the schedule remaining, there's zero margin for error. Take the next 3 series, men. Take at least 1 from OU. And then you got to see how everyone else plays. But if you take the next 3 series, you're beating the other bubble hosting teams from the SEC and pushing them behind you effectively. Yeah, duh, it's kind of important. Yep. I'm brilliant that way, right? Taking a look at other things that kind of caught my attention. CBS Sports had every one of their, and this is maroon and white world still, CBSSports.com had every single one of their college football experts pick the Final Four college football. Why? Because you had the Final Four college basketball Saturday. So Final Four college football. And they had one of their experts put Texas A&M football in their Final Four. The consensus Final Four was like Texas, Georgia, Ohio State, Notre Dame. That was easily the consensus. And sure, why not? Look, Georgia needs to do something quick or people need to stop picking them. Like, if we're just saying who's going to make the college football playoff, I'll take Georgia for the next 10 years, like a long-term parlay bet, and make a lot of money on it because you just know they're that level of team, but their college football playoff runs not exactly as intended the past couple of years. Correct? So they're going to make it, but put them in the Final Four. I know I'm hesitant to think that way. But Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Georgia would be your consensus. But one CBSSports.com college football expert, David Cobb, got Texas A&M. Now he has Texas A&M, Ohio State, Notre Dame as his Final Four. There's no universe, correct, that the committee would not seed this and have Texas and Texas A&M on the same half, right? I mean, so that would be a Final Four matchup. A Texas A&M national championship college football game would be seismic, cosmic. Like, my brain can't comprehend even fully what that would mean and feel like as an Aggie. If it's a Texas A&M national championship game, that's something, no. Like, I could just say no 20 times in a row, but that would be babbling. But, Texas A&M meeting in a college football Final Four is not too far off. That would get medieval pretty quickly. But anyway, David Cobb, if you were wondering, CBSSports.com college football expert. And if you think I'm being too strong, college football analyst, but A&M. So that would mean Notre Dame, Ohio State on. No. How do you put Notre Dame, Ohio State on the other half and Texas A&M on one half? And they always like to cluster the SEC because they're scared of all SEC final ever happening again. Like that one motivation is determined and shaped so many decisions made by the NCAA and committees. We must never have an all SEC final. Could Texas A&M be in the Final Four of college football? I think last year showed us one thing. If you make the playoff, you can make the Final Four. Who are the elite teams? Answer: none. College football, NIL, teams are too watered down to have that dynastic guarantee. Now, I do think with 12 spots, there's about 6 teams and of the 6, I'm wrong on 2 of them. But this year, to be fair, if like Notre Dame and Ohio State, that's only 2, and I said 6. Man, I'm an idiot. There are a handful, much better word because no one knows what that means. There are a handful of teams that are going to be in the college football playoff that you can go make money. Not really. Vegas would short you on the odds, but you could go bet $100 to make $5 on probably. Like Notre Dame's going to make the college football playoff. They're going to be 10-2. Committee won't hose them 2 years in a row. Wait, Lou, did you say 10-2? Yeah, that's kind of their min. That's kind of their min. Ohio State's going to go, and from there, who knows? But can A&M go back to the college football playoff? Well, yeah, like about 3 to 4 things. But I remember a year ago going, man, they need like 5 things, and they got 5 things, and they went 11-1. When we return up next, it's Aggie Baseball Listen In here on the Louie Bellina Show, presented by CC Electric. The Louie Bellina Show, Monday on the Zone.
You can get the podcasts of Texangs Live, The Louie Bellina Show, or Chip Howard at zone1150.com, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
The Louie Bellina Show, Monday. It's been a great day so far, if I must say so myself, and I have to say so. And now, spring football, Aggie football. We always do it in their words. We listen to the coaches and the players. Today, it's the players. Here is Wilkins Formby.
I got a lot of reasons to smile. It's Easter week. Jesus died for my sins. I got so much to be thankful for each day that I live. I get to be a light and an influence to the people around me. And so it's just a lot of things to be thankful for. The staff here, these people, my teammates, the community. So many things to be thankful for.
Wilkins only halfway through spring, but how do you see this offensive line coming together with so many guys that have never played together before?
Yeah, it's difficult, like you said, with so many guys who haven't played together, but I just think like that's a testament to our coach and our coaches here just being able to put different lines together every day and be able to gel together. But this dates back in January when we all first got here and we started working out together, training together. That chemistry started then. So just each day that we get to practice with each other, we're trying not to take it for granted and just go out and be 5 as 1, like they say.
What was that recruitment like here to A&M, and what ultimately sealed the deal for you to make this decision?
Yeah, so like when I got in the portal, I had a lot of schools reaching out to me, and I know I had an existing relationship with Coach Wilkins, and then playing for Alabama, you would kind of watch different teams while you're watching film. We would play similar teams that A&M would play, and I would see their offensive line getting after people, and so I had to make a decision that's best for me, where I'm going to develop the most, and I feel like Coach Cush has done a great job. His track record speaks for itself as far as developing players, and so I needed to take a next step in my game, and I feel like coming here is really going to do that. But I just spent a lot of time with my family before and after the season, praying that God would just show me, ordain and dictate my steps. And I really, I can't really explain it to a lot of people, but I just know that I'm doing what's right by God. So that's what ultimately made my decision here. And He's given me so much peace in this transition, and the relationships that I've gotten to make are special.
I know you're from the Tuscaloosa area. Was it hard to pick up and leave home, maybe kind of for the first time?
Yeah, it was hard, and I didn't really want to, but I knew that this was right. And I had a lot of reasons to stay, but there was also a lot of good reasons to leave. So it was a tough decision, but I graduated from Alabama. I started there for a couple of years, and I mean, it's a special place to me, and it's always going to be a special place to me. And I didn't want to leave with any bad blood or burn any bridges. I still got a good relationship with everybody there, and so that was big for me, not burning those bridges, because I love those people. But this is what's my chapter. It's the next chapter for me, so this is what I had to do.
What do you feel like you really bring bring to the table and just kind of the role you feel like you're going to fit into this offensive line?
I think what I bring to the table is, in this room specifically, it's just some experience. We have a younger room, but we also have a room from guys all across the SEC, guys that transferred in, and so I'm just trying to bring that in. I'm trying to bring like stability to my position and just be able to be like consistent each and every day. That's something I'm really trying to battle this year. It's consistency, and then like winning at the last couple seconds of my reps. It's just like sustaining my blocks. That's big, and that's what me and my coach are really focusing on.
To your point about SEC experience, especially among the transfers, just like, what do you feel like is like the biggest benefit that maybe brings to the table when guys are coming in and you're forming kind of a new unit?
I just think the biggest thing is, like you hit on, is the experience. Like, we've played enough snaps to kind of like that first time you go on the road and you're starting, and it's like, that's a big deal. I don't care who you are. Like, you're on the road, you're starting, it's a hostile environment. Like, we've played in a bunch of games like that, a lot of us that transferred here. So that's not everything, but it is a good thing to add.
What did they end up getting in Isaiah Horton?
I mean, like he was in there earlier, he's a playmaker, he's big, physical. One thing that I love as an offensive lineman is you can line him up next to us. He can chip guys, he can play off the ball, and he can crack the box, help us get on the perimeter. So he's a big physical receiver, but he's also a playmaker. Like if you watch the Iron Bowl last year and other games like that, he's just a playmaker, and he's hungry. And I'm starting to see even more of that out of him in this transition.
So what stands out to you that's different about living in College Station as opposed to Tuscaloosa?
I actually feel like College Station and Tuscaloosa is kind of similar. There's so many restaurants here to eat, though, and so I like that. But I don't know. I mean, it's good people both spots, but the format, it's a little bigger. Like when I leave here, I hit a left and it's just straight down the road. Hit one more left and I'm home. So it's very similar, though.
So where are you eating at right now at College Station? What's some of your favorite spots?
Dude, don't put me on the spot. 1860 Italia. That place is really good. That's one of my favorite spots. Another spot that I feel like people kind of think like, is Napa Flats. Not the bistro one. I've never been there, but Napa Flats, they got good chicken parm. Let's see. There's this food truck that comes on Sundays here every now and then. They do wings, but it's in Houston. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then another thing, Chicken Express. Like I always used to eat like churches back home, but Chicken Express is pretty good. But also the food here in the dining hall is spectacular. Like they've done a great job apparently this year with the food and stuff. Obviously I wasn't here last year, but the food, like it's hard to not eat in there. Food's really good.
Wilkins, I know you played guard and tackle.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to want to play right tackle?
Yeah.
How much did it mean? Elko, we asked him about it. He said that he thinks you're an elite right tackle and he wants you to.
That means a lot. Like playing guard, I really don't have anything against playing guard. Like I know that was what God had for me in that season and playing guard, but I feel like if I could play right tackle at a high level and that's what I love to do, I should play that. But does that mean in the NFL I'm not going to play guard or I don't know. But I think for this season, that's my focus, is to be, like Coach Elko said, an elite right tackle. And it means the world to have a staff that believes in you and that pours into you every day, and they kind of like are believing that, and they kind of speak that over me. So that is a blessing for sure.
What's the difference between playing right guard, playing right tackle? Like, what do you need for both positions? And then why do you feel like right tackle is just a perfect fit for you with this team?
Yeah, I think like something that was tough for me last year was like I'd never played guard. So like I was learning in front of millions of people on TV or whatever, and in front of really good opponents and playing against a lot of high draft picks or whatever it is. So, but the room that we had at Alabama, they really helped me. Like playing next to Parker was a blessing. He was really elite and he would pour into me, and having guys like Jaden Roberts to help sharpen me in that room, that was good. But I mean, the differences speak for itself. Like you're playing in space, you're playing inside. In the inside, like the run game is a lot different, but pass pro is also a little bit easier. When you're in space, it's a little bit more difficult. But I just feel like if you're athletic enough, if you're big enough, you have a good frame and you can move. And I played tackle my whole career, so that's kind of what I like to do. I have nothing against playing guard. I just want to help my team win a national championship at the end of the day.
As a veteran, is there anybody on the offensive line that's like underclassmen, maybe even a senior, like that has impressed you?
Dude, our whole freshman class has impressed me, like from the jump. And guys just coming out, working hard, and like wanting to soak up like a sponge. I love to see that. It fires me up to see young guys who are really eager, and they're not going through the motions. All three of the freshmen, like they're very intense and serious about their business.
Would you
spoke about your faith.
Yes, sir.
You're a young guy. How long is that? Just you just grew up in it, or what's your?
Yeah, I grew up in it, but there's been some experiences throughout my life where God changed my life. Like since I was born, I grew up around the faith. I grew up being a Christian, but God kind of like got my attention with things throughout my football career where maybe I'm like idolizing football more than I should be, idolizing my career, whatever it is. And so God kind of got my attention and showed me, like, the Bible says not to have your faith on a shifting sand, but put it on a firm rock. Like, God's never going to change on you. And so it's good to put your faith in something bigger than a game, bigger than people. And so that's been big for me. And just like, that's really the biggest thing. Like, God just showing me that through a game that I love.
How would you describe kind of your leadership style and just kind of what maybe the reception to what you brought in that aspect has been to this team?
Yeah, I would say my leadership style is versatile. Like, I love to lead by example, but at the same time, like, right when a person behind me does their rep, like, I want to go up to them and be like, hey, that looks good, but try this, try that, just trying to help the coaches out. And it is different, like, when you've been out there and experienced it. I kind of see, like, myself and some of the young guys, and so being able to tell them, like, carry your hand or whatever it is. So I like to do that and just try to always, like, have a play at an intensity that's going to encourage the other guys,
To that point, being one of the new guys, was it a point of emphasis to come in here and try to lead, or is it more try to fit in and kind of mesh where you get?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I first got here, I didn't want to come on too strong. Like, nobody likes that guy, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to come in, learn more about the program, learn about Coach Moffitt, learn how he runs things, learn about the staff, and then kind of like earn my respect and then push the leadership. But at the end of the day, like, if you're a leader, you're going to be a leader. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to come on too strong.
Yeah. Which maybe one or two edge rushers have really caught your eye so far this spring?
Man. I feel like that's a tough question. I think that our coaches here, the defensive line coaches, have done a great job just like sharpening guys and being able to put me in matchups versus different players every single day. But I would say Anto, I don't want to discredit anybody. All the edge rushers have pushed me every single day in practice, and they've been really helping me grow as a player in the run and the pass. So
that was Wilkins Formby. And again, our Aggie football listening is going to continue because I got one more for you. Isaiah Horton.
Talk about like kind of the offense today, like what kind of plays were you seeing and like what impressed you the most out of practice today?
For sure. We had a lot of explosive plays. We worked on 2 minute and 4 minute today. And just what impressed me the most is just the consistency we had and the urgency we had on the field.
Isaiah, what led you to A&M? What made you want to come here?
I believe in Coach Elko's, the culture he's building here. I believe in Marcel Reed. He's a guy from my hometown. We grew up together. I believe in him with all my heart, and I just believe in this program, and I just believe in this culture.
Yeah, how long have you known Marcel? Where did that relationship start, and kind of what does that relationship look like between you before you got here?
Absolutely. So me and Marcel, we met around like middle school going into high school. We played 7-on-7 together, so we traveled all over the country, and we just played He was my 7-on-7 quarterback, and we just meshed, and it was just like real recognized real, like first time we met, and it was just like we were just friends off the bat.
From that 7-on-7 experience to now, what have you seen development growth-wise from Marcel as a QB?
He's always been that guy. Skill-wise, I'll just say maturity, like anybody else, like a kid just growing up, just maturing, and he's done a great job.
You mentioned the relationship with Marcel. How much did the relationship maybe with Coach Wiggins and even Wilkins mean for your recruitment, just you ended up coming here too?
For sure. It meant a lot. I was getting recruited by Coach Wiggins out of high school, so that relationship piece was already there. Like I just mentioned, the relationship piece with Marcel was already there, so it was a no-brainer for me.
Kind of what have you learned from like this wide receiver room with Mario and then Matt and all these other wide receivers? Like what have you took from them to help improve your game?
What I've just taken from those guys, they're hard workers. They're very determined. They love the game of football, and just it's no plays off.
You've seen a lot of big plays from the freshmen so far. How deep do you think this room could be, and what's kind of stood out to you about the freshmen?
Man, this room's very deep, man. What stood out to me about the freshmen is they came in, they listen, they're eager to learn, they're hungry. In this day and time with NIL, they could come in lackadaisical. Nah, those boys are in the film room. They're asking me questions as a vet, and it's I'm proud of them, and they're gonna definitely make an impact for this team this year.
What are the biggest things you're working on individually to try and elevate your game going into this next season, this offseason?
Just being dominant every play, not just on and off, just every single time I'm on the field, I'm dominant. Like every time y'all see me, just know if I get the ball or if I don't get the ball, that guy, he's a beast.
What do you feel like you bring to this A&M offense, and then what do you feel like your role is going to be in this A&M offense?
For sure, I feel like I bring leadership, I bring experience on the field, I bring explosiveness, a big body ex-receiver who can go down the field, make those one-on-one catches, and just whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm here for.
How would you describe your leadership kind of style or way you lead?
I lead by example. You know, I really don't do too much talking, and the guys know if I do talk, they listen to me because I don't talk a lot. So I lead by example, and I let them see how I act.
I was going to talk about how this offseason they really needed that X receiver, that big-bodied guy. That was kind of what they were missing last year. How much of that was a talking point, and how much do you think you're going to be able to kind of really bring to, you know, as far as 50-50 balls, that kind of stuff?
I'm going to bring it. So whenever it is a 50-50 ball, it's more like a 100% ball, in my opinion. So yeah, whatever they, that's what it is.
To that point, what can we expect from Holman Wilkins offense? Obviously, first, your play caller, what have you seen? What have you liked so far?
Yeah, you can just expect a fast, explosive offense, and we're going to be very dominant.
What have been some of the things that you've really developed on prior to your time coming to A&M that you feel like has made improvements in your game leading up to this point in your career?
Yes, sir. I'll just say my consistency. I work on my craft every day, and it's the little things, the details that really matter. Anybody can catch a ball. We can all run, jump. It's the details that's going to separate you.
What's maybe your favorite memory of something on set with Marcel? Any early memory that kind of sticks out to you about maybe a throw he made or a game he had or anything like that?
Favorite memory, I'll just say it's always fun on the field, but we had a tournament in South Florida, and pretty much it was after the game. It's really just those time in the hotels, like we just chilled, the fellowship, we talking, the camaraderie, just laughs. Like that's the fun times.
What's something we need to ask Wilkins about, since you have a relationship with him?
What do you need to ask about Will? Why he's always smiling?
That was Isaiah Horton, and before him was Wilkins Formby, and that was our Aggie Football listening. This is the Louie Bellina Show, Monday on The Zone.
Sign up for the Zone newsletter and always be in the know about that day's guest lineup, where and when your favorite team plays, and more. Sign up at zone1150.com.